grantees required to submit any receipts for their spending?
At this time, no.
Oregon's Early Learning Department Director answers KATU's questions about millions of taxpayer dollars given to preschools for slots that were never filled. Good evening. Thanks for joining us for KATU News at 6. I'm Deborah Knapp.
And I'm Mike Gazaway. KATU's Christina Giardinelli has tracked the spending for Oregon's program that pays for preschool slots for low-income families since September. She's live for us now in Salem. Christina, this comes after lawmakers held a hearing about this.
Yeah, that's right. Representative Tracy Cramer actually submitted my investigative reports on the agency's spending to the legislature, and that's when they scheduled a hearing on this. And that's also when the director agreed to an interview. In September, I obtained records showing hundreds of preschool promise slots for children from low-income families remained open. My investigation found that from 2020 to 2022, the program spent almost $43 million to cover about 3,800 preschool spots statewide. 26 million taxpayer dollars were spent on preschool slots that were never filled. The state agency's director, Alyssa Chatterjee, says it's because of the pandemic.
We approached the 2021 and 21-22 program year with the pandemic lens. So we were not in the practice of clawing money back from providers. We were focusing on stabilizing the limited availability of care.
That means preschools still got to keep the money, even if in some cases they had 0 preschool promise students. I wanted to know how they spent that money, so I obtained their expense reports. Some grantees had some questionable spending habits. For example, one Portland preschool claimed $8,000 one month for rent, $4,000 the next. Looked up the property tax records, the same name of the person who owns the daycare. She bought the home in 2000 for $200,000. How is this costing her $4,000 to $8,000 a month in rent, and why isn't this being looked at? These are taxpayer dollars.
I'd have to look at the grantee. It's also important to note that many child care providers don't operate in their homes.
Are these grantees required to submit any receipts for their spending?
At this time, no, and that's one of the advantages that we have as we create this new grants management system is we'll have a much more centralized and robust way to take in information.
So in this new data reporting system, are there going to be receipts required for their spending?
It will all depend on what the system can fully do. We're still in the process of procuring and developing that system.
So I guess that's part of what I'm not understanding here. I mean, if I go on a work trip, I go out to dinner, I expense that, I need to submit a receipt. That's pretty much true for every taxpayer in America. So why is that not true for people who are giving millions of dollars to?
It varies depending on the funding stream when you're talking about public funds. So when we think about what schools are required to report in order to receive money from the Department of Education, the state school fund, it is not going to be necessarily a receipt for everything that was purchased.
Now, the director tells me the new data system will have an automated way of tracking any irregular spending or questionable spending. In the meantime, I'm still looking at those expense reports and looking into some of those questionable spending accounts. In the meantime, you can also go to our website at KATU.com to see this full report along with a full unedited version of that interview. For now, live in Salem, Christina Giardinelli, KATU News.
Christina, thank you.